Finally, Congress is working to pass a holiday stimulus deal with stimulus provisions to go out to help the American people. And in addition to that, there are several agenda items that they are rushing to get done before the end of the year. Take a look at the headlines coming out. The big deal bills Congress needs to pass before the end of the year. And also, let's make a deal. White House ready to bargain over expanded child tax credits. And as I've let you guys know, out of all the stimulus provisions, the first one now that they're saying they're going to get done and they're trying to do before the end of the year during this holiday season is passing the child tax credits. That stimulus provision, the monthly recurring checks to parents, they're trying to get it out the door. And also, we've heard promises of the Social Security increases. We had heard that one, they wanted to get done before the end of the year as well, but it seems like it's fallen to the wayside. But we're hearing that one will likely get pushed into 2023, and we're waiting to see about stimulus checks and other provisions. But you guys, this is your stimulus check update. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest that is just coming out. These articles just coming out today as we're hearing members of Congress, they're making a final push to try to get done with stimulus. And we're hearing lawmakers on both sides of the aisles, Democrats and Republicans, are saying they're open to passing some legislation. They've got certain agenda items they want. They're willing to negotiate and see if they can come to an agreement. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, you guys. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor, smash the like button, subscribe to stay up to date on all this content, keep you up to date on stimulus, child tax credits, Congress, the economy, everything going on. And also, my kids have a new video coming out today on their channel, Liam and Naya. I'm very proud of them. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Very proud of Naya. She put together a new doll video, and it's going to be a series. She said this is going to be the first episode. So keep an eye out for that. I'll pin a link down below to the channel if you got little ones. I hope they enjoy it. Oh, and also, comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation, over 100 different ones. I've got a ton that I got to add to that list as well at www.reliefroadmap.com if you are interested. And again, if you have any issues with it, if you can't log in, if anything like that, just shoot me an email at contact@reliefroadmap.com and I'll help you out. Best way to get a hold of me to access information for that site. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. So first off, take a look at this. The big deal bills that Congress needs to pass before the end of the year. Lawmakers are going down to the wire, surprise, surprise, waiting till the last minute, can't believe it, on vital government funding and defense policy bill. Like I said, this just coming out yesterday, and the one on the child tax credits just coming out today. Now, with the holidays fast approaching, Congress is facing a familiar time crunch on two must-pass bills, a government funding measure and the annual defense policy bill known as the National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA. The immediate deadline for a measure is December 16th, so they have got to get this done by that date within 4 days. And also, there are some stimulus checks. Stay tuned to the channel that are going to be going out on that same date as well. $1,000 payments in one state. Now, when current funding expires, when a new Congress will be sworn in and Republicans will take control of the House, is the bigger concern for lawmakers. Though there are other legislative priorities that the House and the Senate may try to pass, like attempts to address the debt ceiling, immigration policy, or speeding up the permitting process to develop clean energy infrastructure, the NDAA and the Omnibus Bill are in the spotlight, and the NDAA has been passed every year for more than half a century, and failure to pass a government funding measure of some sort will result in a partial government shutdown. Now, also in that Omnibus Bill, we're going to be talking about here in just a second, potentially including child tax credits. Though this is a somewhat regular problem, Congress is prone to procrastinating before the holidays or the end of the fiscal year. The annual struggle to fund the government is still a cause for concern. Progress on legislative priorities, particularly critical legislation like omnibus bills, often gets bogged down in partisan fighting and efforts to attach measures that are difficult to pass as standalone bills, and that includes stimulus provisions. Now, last year at this time, the NDAA was also still tied up in Congress. It only passed the Senate on December 15th after a prolonged fight, and an omnibus appropriations bill that took several months and 3 CRs, continuing resolutions, kicking the cans down the road. So we will see, because they could always do that as well. There's even more urgency to pass the NDAA and the omnibus bill before the end of the year, since unified Democratic control of government will end at noon on January 3rd. So that is the other thing. I've been letting you guys know here on the channel for quite some time. The midterm elections who's in control and who's in power, it's shifting now. And this is going to be affecting everything. And like it says, going into play January 3rd, things are going to be changing. Now, Republicans, they are set to take control of the House with a slim majority, which will complicate future legislation. And current House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy is expected to replace Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House, despite some internal GOP resistance. So you guys, things are going to be turning in the House, and we're going to be seeing, which gives Republicans more control, more power over what's going to be passing through legislation. As you know, over the past 2 years, Democrats have been in full control of Congress, the Senate, and the House, and the presidency, which literally means that if they could unify through the process of reconciliation, they could literally pass through whatever they'd like. And we heard a lot of them saying promises when that happened of stimulus checks, child tax credits, Social Security, all this stimulus funding and spending and things to go out to help people at this time. Yet Democrats, they could not agree amongst themselves. We literally had 2 members of Congress in the Senate, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, who would not get on board, saying that there was too much spending. They were concerned about inflation. Literally, if they would have been on board, we probably would have seen all of these stimulus provisions go through. But they said that they were saving us from even worse inflationary environments and more issues with our economy. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But what we're hearing is now things are going to be even more complicated with the House now being taken by Republicans, which means Republican priorities are going to be a negotiating piece with Democrats in the Senate, and we'll see what they come together on to start passing things through. Now, one of the things that we have heard is child tax credits. Take a look, you guys. Let's make a deal. White House ready to bargain over expanded child tax credits. A last-minute push would concede on a work requisite tied to expanding the credit. So they want to expand it, but there's going to be some work requirements tied to it. Now, the White House has privately signaled to Democrats that it would support a compromise deal to revive the expanded child tax credit, even if it included work requirements it once opposed. A remarkable shift for the administration that has resisted applying such conditions to anti-poverty programs. It comes amid a recent push in Congress to include an expansion in a year-end legislative package while Democrats still control both chambers, and it reflects the growing urgency within the administration to salvage a policy that ranks among President Joe Biden's signature achievements. Biden oversaw a sweeping enhancement of the child tax credit during his first months in office, delivering up to $3,600 to parents, and that was sent out in monthly payments for half and the other half in a lump sum during taxes, including to households previously ineligible because they had no income. The infusion drove a historic drop in child poverty, according to the Census Bureau data, cutting the national rate by nearly half. But those beefed up benefits, they ran out last December in the face of opposition from Republicans and Senator Joe Manchin, as we had mentioned, who said that he would not support an extension on a party line vote out of concerns that the policy was fueling inflation. Now, Manchin has demanded work requirements and means testing to be applied to the program. But until now, Biden has dismissed calls to tie the payments to employment, insisting that families should be eligible for the benefits regardless of their earnings. The standoff forced Democrats to drop an extension of the expanded child tax credits for their negotiations earlier this year over the spending package that ultimately became the Inflation Reduction Act. And as you know, all the stimulus provisions they wanted to include in it was going to be called the Build Back Better bill got stripped out, and they changed it to the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, in the interim, the White House has watched its early progress on the child poverty fade, endangering what officials once believed would be a major piece of Biden's domestic legacy. Nearly 4 million kids slipped back into poverty when the expanded benefits expired, researchers at Columbia University Center on Poverty and Social Poverty found. Now, with time running out to resuscitate the program before Republicans take over the House, White House officials have urged lawmakers in recent weeks to pursue any deal they can get. All of us working on this issue feel like this is it. This is the moment, said Adam Rubin, director of the advocacy group for Economic Security Project Action. He said the politics don't get easier next year with divides in government. Now, the discussion over reviving the expanded child tax credits are still in early stages, so the lawmakers, they have yet to hammer out the specifics of the package, according to more than half a dozen people involved in the process. So they're working away on this. We're going to be seeing. They said they're in the early parts of this. And scrolling down, it says the package, which negotiators are hoping to slip into the omnibus bill, would be less substantial than the child tax credit expansion that Democrats passed back in 2021 due to cost limitations and the need to win over 10 Senate Republicans. So they're going to be seeing if they can do this. And here is the negotiating piece. Business groups, they have also intensified pressure on the GOP to cut a deal in a recognition that it's the only way that they'll secure tax cuts that have become a top year-end priority for corporations. Among a coalition of outside organizations spanning the political spectrum, advocates trying to win over skeptical Republicans have emphasized the broad public support for spending more aid to families. So these are going to be the two pieces that are currently being negotiated: child tax credits, tax cuts for corporations. And we've heard many Democrats saying there is no way that we should be passing tax cuts for corporations without also sending additional help for families. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys, but that is the latest that they're saying on child tax credits. Now, also, as I mentioned, stimulus checks, Social Security increases, SNAP, PEBT benefits, all of these are still ongoing. I will keep you up to date here on the channel. And if you want to get more about that, check out this video right here as I got you caught up on the latest on that. And also, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me as more rolls out. I'll be sure to share, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my kids' channel, Liam and Naya. New video coming out today, maybe around 4 or 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.